All right, just about 15 minutes to the top of the hour, and one of Iran's top generals has emerged from hiding ahead of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's funeral this weekend in Tehran. Iranian state media publishing these photos of IRGC leader General Ahmad Vahidi, the first time, by the way, that he's been seen in public since February 8th, weeks before the war in Iran even began. For more on this, I'm now joined by Iranian relations and policy analyst Ramesh Sepehrad, advisory board chair for the Organization of Iranian American Communities. Ramesh, it's always good to have you. Can you tell us just a bit more, just give us more context? Who is this general, and what does it tell you that he's come out of hiding this weekend?
Well, Marky, I think he is no different than any other IRGC general who has a hand in Iranian people's blood. He is responsible for the massacres that took place in January uprising, and he continues to really direct IRGC with their criminal agenda, whether it's at home or it's in abroad. So I think from the Iranian people's perspective, he is a criminal that needs to be held to account for the crimes that he's committed. But I think the real message for his hiding and the fact that he did not have the confidence to show his face in public shows how fragile this regime is. Although we're dealing with the current funeral situation and trying to make the Ali Khamenei, the dictator that ruled Iran for 37 years, the second longest running dictator after the Pahlavi's dictatorship, they're trying to make him into a martyr by bringing all the big names into the streets. This really demonstrates how fearful this regime is, that this really demonstrates how fragile this regime continues to be at home especially.
And we know that funeral preparations for the late Ayatollah are underway ahead of this weekend's ceremonies. Israeli leaders continue to threaten the new Ayatollah, of course, Khamenei's son, Moshtaba. Is there any chance that Israel or the United States launches an attack this weekend, do you think?
I think the real fear that this regime has is really not an attack from outside, but it's really the uprising from inside. This is the real Achilles heel for this regime. You have to remember, millions of Iranians have rejected this regime, and they demonstrated in the multiple waves of nationwide uprising. When you look at the record of this regime, this stands on the repression at home. So the legitimacy is extremely rejected by the Iranian people, and the real fear in this regime is another uprising. Over the last couple of weeks inside Iran, there were multiple events that really tells us the uprising, the protest inside the country, it's live, it's growing, it's organizing, and that's why the regime is trying to continue to distract that momentum at home to conversations around the foreign war and attacks from U.S. and Israel.
Yeah, I mean, this funeral and these, events surrounding it supposed to last a week, so the next round of talks aren't even going to take place until after that. And speaking of, Alan Ira, he was one of the U.S. negotiators for the 2015 Iran deal, says that the U.S. needs to pick up the pace on talks with Iran. Talks are paused until after July 9th. Are you worried now that this lasting deal is getting further and further away?
I honestly think the real deal has to be made with the people of Iran who want to end this regime. You have to remember, Iranian regime want three things. They want leverage at the negotiation table, they want fear in the global energy economy, and they want some sort of a nationalistic excuse to crush dissent at home. That's why it should not be mistaken that we're dealing with a confident regime, we're dealing with a strong regime, we're dealing with a very desperate and very weak regime whose leadership is not even clear. As you said at the beginning, a top IRGC person finally showed his face in the street after how many months? Khamenei's own son is not attending his father's funeral. This is not a regime that is strong.
Yeah, we still haven't seen him. He's still in hiding.
That's very true. So it really shows how fragile this regime is from top to at the every ranks of its apparatus. And it also shows that the message that it should be listened to is the message that's coming from the Iranian people. Their protests, their uprisings, their ongoing execution of political prisoners just yesterday. If this regime is confident, why is it resorting to execution? We just heard yesterday in news about a 25-year-old woman, Arghavan Fallahi, who has been sentenced to execution because of her support for the MEK, Iran's main opposition inside the country. So I think we have to pay attention to the dynamics among the real opposition inside the country, the resistance units inside the country, the political prisoners, and their message that's saying that we want this regime gone and we want to replace it with a non-nuclear secular republic government.
Yeah, you listed three things that Iran or the IRGC wants, and number four is they just want to survive and see another day. Ramesh Sepehrad, I have to end things there, but thank you so much for your time ahead of the weekend, and we'll be chatting with you again soon, I feel certain.
Thank you.